Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and this is The Rural Companion. In today's video, we will be making the recipe for Hawaiian sweet rolls. They will use sourdough starter and they have a few tweaks from the original recipe that I got from the farmhouse on Boone. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. For this recipe, you're going to need a half a cup of sourdough starter. Next up, you will need a half a cup of yogurt. This is some whole milk yogurt that I made just a couple days ago. You could use store-bought yogurt, you could use milk kefir, you could use milk if you would like, and that is in the original recipe. You'll need a half a cup of honey. You'll need 1 room temperature egg, 1 cup of pineapple juice, and 1 stick of melted butter. Now I just melted this and it's a little hot, so I normally start mixing my ingredients in the stand mixer and slowly add my warm butter to the cold ingredients. This will make sure that the egg does not start cooking when I add my very warm liquid. It will also allow the temperatures to come together without over chilling the butter either. And we will add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now I did make this vanilla, and if you can tell in the clear bottle, it is a little lighter than it should be. It hasn't finished steeping, but we use vanilla and I didn't want to buy any. So we're gonna be using the not fully completed vanilla extract in our recipe and it'll be fine. Next up, and finally, we're going to be adding 5 cups of flour. Now, I like to do this in intervals. I have my ingredients partially mixed, so I'll add 1 cup of flour, let it mix for a while, turn it off, add a 2nd cup, let it mix a little while, then I add a 3rd and a 4th cup, and finally I will add that 5th cup after it has mixed for several minutes with the addition of each cup of flour. You may need to add a little bit of extra flour depending on how humid it is in your environment. If your air conditioning's running, it's most likely not that humid. But if it is raining outside and it's chillier, it's going to be damp, so you're gonna wanna add a little extra flour. You will be able to tell this at the end, and I will be sure to give you a close-up view of my dough so that you can see what you're looking for. Okay, once your dough has come together, you're going to let it continue to mix in your stand mixer for about 10 to 15 minutes. It does take a long time for the dough to come together, and you're just looking for that elastic, stretchy dough. Mine's not quite done yet, but I'm gonna let it keep going here in a moment. And you're going to want to make sure that when you are finished, the dough doesn't stick to the side. So it's not gonna be quite as sticky as it is initially. That will be a sure sign that it is done. Okay, so I'm gonna let this finish mixing and then I will set it off to the side with a cover so that it can do the first rise overnight, probably about 15 to 20 hours, give or take, depending on when I get to it tomorrow, and I will meet you back in that time. The next day, I butter a 9x13 baking dish and remove the dough from the mixing bowl. I spread it out as flat as possible on my counter, and using a dough cutter, cut it into roughly 16 mostly even pieces of dough. Then I shape each piece of dough into a ball and try to make sure that each piece is roughly the same size. Of course, you could get a scale and measure each piece and make sure that they're exact, but we are okay with this method. After all of the dough balls have been shaped, I allow the pan to rest in the oven for about 2 hours or so before baking at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. Once they come out of the oven, I butter the tops and we enjoy. Thanks guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here in my kitchen with me. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do so and share with your friends if you really enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Bye.